Professor Pradeep, sir, huh? Lecture class already taken? Have you attended the class? अच्छा, specimen तो already I have taken one class specimen. Specimen was not there at that time, but now it is present. Now tell me what is molar pregnancy. अच्छा, tell me, हाँ, two types of molar pregnancy. What are the types of molar pregnancy? Complete. Complete की? Partial and complete? Say complete name. Partial? Mole. Mole. And complete? Mole. Complete mole is also known as H mole. Acha, which one is more dangerous? What do you think? Partial is more dangerous. What do you mean by dangerous? Risk of GTN, माने कि gestational topoplastic neoplasia. Risk of developing GTN is more in which one? Complete mole or partial mole? This I will show you in last, हाँ, but basic जो questions normally पूछते हैं वो बता रही हूँ, ठीक है? ये last में बता दूँगी. They are mainly categorized into GTD and GTN. GTD is gestational topoplastic diseases and gestational topoplastic neoplasia. In GTD comes the complete mole and partial mole. अच्छा, complete mole partial mole में अगर कैरोटैपिंग करोगे तो क्या डिफरेंस आएगा? 46 ट्रिप्लॉइड है कि ट्रिप्लॉइड है, कैसे पता चलेगा? कंप्लीट में complete is having 46x6 and or 46xy. Then in partial it is triploid 69xxy or 69xyy. 69yy हो सकता है या 46xyy हो सकता है? नहीं होता. अच्छा, that means कि complete mole is diploid and partial mole is triploid. ठीक है? This is complete mole and this is partial mole. अच्छा, this is mainly 46xx or xy. This is 69xxy or 69xyy. ठीक. Which one is common? xy or xx? दिख रहा है तुम लोग को ये बोर्ड? नहीं दिख रहा है? हाँ, दिख रहा है सबको? दिख रहा है सबको? Which one is common? xy or xx? XX, yes. Acha, which one has more chance of developing GTD? GTN. Complete mole around 15 to 20%, and this around 3 to 5% risk of developing GTN. माने कि कोरियोकार्सिनोमा. अच्छा, what comes under? This comes under GTD. And what comes under GTN? Invasive mole, choriocarcinoma, placental site trophoblastic tumor and epithelioid tumor. These all comes in GTN. Achha. Main pathology is there is hyperplasia of the trophoblastic tissue, and there is hydropic degeneration within the villi. विलाई होते हैं इसके बीच में हाइड्रोपिक डिजेनरेशन, दैट्स व्हाई इट इंक्रीजेस इन साइज एंड ट्रोफोब्लास्टिक टिश्यू हाइपरप्लेजिया होता है. ठीक है? दैट्स व्हाई वी नॉर्मली सी व्हेन यू विल सी ग्रॉस देयर विल बी ग्रेप लाइक वेसिकल्स. दिस इज अ कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फाइंडिंग इन अ case of molar pregnancy. Patient will say, I am passing grape-like vesicles pervaginally. Or along with bleeding, there will be grape-like vesicles. Okay? As you can see over here, these are grape-like, small grape-like vesicles. There will be, that's why its nomenclature is hereditary formed mole. Hereditary cyst होता है ना, liver का सुना होगा? That is cyst-like, so this appears cyst-like. That's why names, but there is no relation between these two. Hereditary cyst and hereditary form mole, there is no relation. Just for sake of appearance, the name was given. Acha, then comes the hyperplasia of the trophoblastic tissue is diffuse in complete mole. पूरे में मतलब overall जो पूरे this uterus is whole covered with the vesicles. That means it is diffuse. and in partial mole there will be focal. Some area will be molar like and some will be normal placenta like. Okay, the focal. And the presence of fetus किसमें होता है? Fetal part and normal placenta किसमें होता है? Partial में, yes. It is present in this and absent in this. Right? And gestational, when we do clinical examination, patient will give history of amenorrhea. I have 3 months amenorrhea, 4 months amenorrhea, and when we are calculating gestational age, suppose it comes around 12 weeks, and when you will do the examination, patient को जब देखोगे, when you will do examine the patient, per abdominal it will be around 20 weeks, 24 weeks. It will not correspond with the gestational age calculated by LMP. Now it will be mostly it is more than the period of amenorrhea or more than the expected gestational age. The height will be, fundal height will be more because of the overgrowth of the vesicles, overgrowth of the trophoblast or hyperplasia of the trophoblastic tissue. तो it is normally इस किस में ज़्यादा रहेगा, किस में normal रहेगा, किस में कम रहेगा? Gestational fundal height BCO पे, yes. In complete mole, the fundal height is more than expected gestational age, and in partial mole it is around maybe moles very less amount, maybe more, mostly around same or maybe less than the gestational age. ठीक? And beta HCG level किस में high होगा? Yes, it will be more than 1 lakh, or it will be higher in complete mole, and it will be less in partial mole. And around more than 1 lakh will be in complete mole. Or next comes the patient. When patient comes to you with having history of amenorrhea and patient is having bleeding PV. Okay, or what symptoms patient will have in case of complete mole or partial mole or molar pregnancy? How we suspect if this patient might have molar pregnancy? Patient comes to you in the emergency and she is having bleeding PV. The first is bleeding PV, and there will be a period of amenorrhea, 3 months, 4 months, 2 months. There will be period of amenorrhea followed by bleeding PV. There may be history of passage of grape-like cycles. Nowadays it is rare because nowadays it is diagnosed early, but earlier when there was not, earlier ultrasound were done, the patient will directly come with the history of passage of grape-like cycles. Then और क्या होगा patient का history? Complaint क्या होगा और? Pain. If it is in process of expulsion, patient will have severe abdominal pain and bleeding हुआ, pain हुआ, and और कुछ हो सकता है? प्रेगनेंसी में क्या होता है? प्रेगनेंसी में क्या सिम्टम होता है सबसे? नोजिया, वॉमिटिंग. इसमें ज़्यादा होगा कम होगा? ज़्यादा होगा. Many times hyperemesis gravidarum is treated in molar pregnancy. Why it occurs? More nausea, vomiting than the normal pregnancy. Why it occurs in molar pregnancy? Because of raised beta HCG level, high beta HCG level, there will be more nausea and vomiting. It might be labeled as hyperemesis gravidarum. ठीक? And और क्या, when you will examine the patient, क्या क्या देखोगे? First general examination करोगे, क्या क्या मिलेगा इस patient में? What you will see? What you might find in this patient? वो तो तुम्हारा per abdomen examination. You are doing general examination. Patient having bleeding. She might have pallor. Pallor is very common because there is profuse bleeding in molar pregnancy. Then there might be hypertension. Patient might be having hypertension, raised BP. Preeclampsia. Eclampsia is very common in molar pregnancy. Okay, and thyrotoxicosis is very common in molar pregnancy. Okay. And now coming on to the per abdominal examination, fundal height will be more. And there will be, when you will examine, you will not be able to find any fetal part or palpate any fetal part. And on auscultation, there will be no fetal heart sound. Obviously, there is no fetus. In partial mole, in very rare cases you might find, but mostly in partial mole also we don't get fetal heart sound. In complete mole you will not be able to get fetal heart sound because there is no fetus, and when you will palpate the uterus, it will be consistency क्या होगा? There is no fetal parts. It will be cystic doughy feeling of the uterus. Okay. इसी को देख के समझ पाओगे ना इसका फीलिंग कैसा हुआ होगा, डोई होगा, सॉफ्ट होगा, सिस्टिक लगेगा, है ना. तो इस टाइप का फीलिंग होता है व्हेन यू डू पर abdominal examination. You will try to palpate the uterus, and when you will do PV examination, there might be open os with grape-like vesicles coming out, or there will be bleeding, or both bleeding with grape-like vesicles. It is known as white current in red jelly. Okay, white current, these are not white currents in red jelly, or white current in red current, it is known as. If patient specifically it says this ki grape like vesicles are passing, guchcha guchcha bhangche, in Bangla they will say guchcha guchcha kore bhangche. Or then comes your examination done, then comes the investigation. So what investigation you will do to diagnose molar pregnancy? USG. So what is the characteristic finding in USG? Snowstorm appearance. Very good. Or this is a very typical finding in molar pregnancy, snowstorm appearance. And USG के अलावा beta hCG level, it will be high. How much? Normal pregnancy में कितना रहता है, इसमें कितना रहेगा? Normal pregnancy में how much is the beta hCG normally, and in molar pregnancy how much is the beta hCG? Beta hCG normally more than 1 lakh in molar pregnancy. Or in normal pregnancy it is normally around 60,000 maximum it goes. In very rare cases it goes up to 1 lakh. After 10 to 12 weeks it declines and then plateaus in 16 to 20 weeks. Okay. Normally beta hCG doubles in 48 hours in normal pregnancy. But in molar pregnancy rise will be rapid rise. It will be tripled 4 times in 2 days or 3 days or 1 week. Okay. Then investigation हुआ beta hCG and USG. Or what else you will do in investigation? और क्या करोगे? USG done, beta hCG done. What else you need to do? Investigations. Or you will investigate a patient comes to you in emergency with bleeding PV. She is diagnosed as molar pregnancy in ultrasound. Now what else you need to do in investigation? Complete hemogram नहीं करोगे? She is bleeding. Hemoglobin कितना है? Platelet count कितना है? WBC count कितना है? Complete hemogram. Then LFT. LFT is very important, and thyroid profile. I told you ना thyroiditis हो सकता है. Thyroid profile is very important. No, not bleeding. Because if you need to do any investigation further, like if you need to give any chemotherapy, then LFT is required. And in many cases of molar pregnancy, LFT might be deranged along with molar pregnancy. That's why we do liver function test. If any metastasis is there in liver or not, then also LFT will be raised. And chest X-ray might be done. If you suspect any embolism is there, then you will do chest X-ray, or any metastasis is there, then you will do chest X-ray if you suspect. और metastasis कहाँ कहाँ हो सकता है molar pregnancy का? Lungs, liver, vagina. That's why you need to do vaginal examination also. Then ये हो गया blood or X-ray. And in severe cases like advanced cases, you will need to do क्या करा सकते हो? If you need suspect कि perforation is there or metastasis is there, what you will do? Yes, CT MRI. In very rare cases only. If you suspect GTN, then you will do CT MRI. If any perforating mole is there or not, perforation is there or not, or extension, extra uterine extension is there or not, to rule out that, you will do CT and MRI. Then what is the management? How you will manage this case? Patient's age is around 32 years. she already had one vaginal delivery earlier, and now she's 4 months amenorrhea with followed by bleeding PV and pain abdomen. She's passing rape-like vesicles. Her BP is raised. What you will do? And she's bleeding PV is there. Yeah, first we will stabilize the patient. We will give IV fluids. We will give oxygen if saturation is low, and we will try to. What you will do? What you will do? क्या करोगे? How will manage this case? Suction evacuation. Suction evacuation. You have to do suction evacuation in this case. In every molar pregnancy, you will do suction evacuation. Molar pregnancy, na? Not GTN. Molar pregnancy, you will do suction evacuation. Like in this case, the patient is bleeding, having bleeding PV, age is less 32 years. You will do suction evacuation. अच्छा, curettage you will do or not? Curettage, sharp curettage you will do or not? I have done suction evacuation. You will do sharp curettage or not? Suction evacuation मतलब क्या हुआ? क्या देके करेंगे? इंस्ट्रूमेंट तो देखा है ना तुम लोग ने सब? Suction evacuation is done using Kaman's cannula. Mostly in these cases we take larger sizes, around more than 8. Normally we take 10 to 12 size, or normally more than 8. If the uterus size is small, like in early weeks, 6 weeks around, अगर हम लोग wash करते हैं या suction evacuation करते हैं, we take 6 size, 5 to 6 size. But because there are vesicles, there is chance of blockage of the Kaman's cannula. We take larger sizes, more than 8, or normally in these cases we take 10 to 12 size of the Kaman's cannula. Suction evacuation is attached with the suction machine, or if you are in periphery, you will use MVA machine, manual vacuum aspiration, MVA. Or in these setup, normally we have suction evacuation machine. So we will do suction evacuation. That is also, whenever it is done very gently. Why? Because there is risk of what is the major danger in molar pregnancy? Perforation. There is high chance of perforation because it is very soft. Uterus is very soft. Okay, there is high chance of perforation. That's why we do suction evacuation, and sharp curettage is normally not done. Okay, only gentle curettage can be done at the last. Normally we don't need curettage. Normally it is sufficient. Suction evacuation is sufficient, but in some cases we might need curettage. Gentle curettage is done, not sharp. Then earlier there was we used to give oxytocin before starting the evacuation. In normal, when you are doing a normal evacuation in a suppose incomplete abortion or missed abortion, in a normal pregnancy, missed abortion and incomplete abortion, you are doing evacuation, you will not give oxytocin. We normally don't use oxytocin. We just use misoprostol to dilate the cervix and we do evacuation. But in these cases, because there is risk of, the first thing is bleeding, large amount of bleeding, heavy bleeding, and second there is risk of perforation. That's why we used to give oxytocin before starting the procedure, 10 unit oxytocin in 500 ml NS or RL. But nowadays it has been discouraged. Why? Because there is risk of embolism of the vesicles to the lungs. Pulmonary embolism can occur. Or पहले एक दो बार when we were doing, there was history कि patient suddenly had dyspnea. There is breathlessness. Patient coming up breathlessness. That means embolism has occurred. SpO2 will fast drastically. That's why nowadays oxytocin is discouraged. And earlier we also used to give misoprostol before evacuation to dilate the cervix. But nowadays both of these things are discouraged, just for the purpose to avoid embolism in these cases, because there is high risk of embolism of these vesicles. These can enter within the vein or the artery, and it will go to the lungs, and it will cause sudden drop in the SpO2 and dyspnea. Okay. Pulmonary embolism में क्या होता है? Sudden death. You will not get any time. Okay, sudden death. अगर वो लॉन्च कर गया, ब्लॉक कर दिया, sudden death. सडनली पेशेंट का टैकिकार्डिया होगा, एस्पिरो फॉल करेगा ना, यू विल नॉट गेट एनी टाइम. दैट्स वाई ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर नाउ डेज अवॉइडेड. नॉर्मली वी जस्ट कैसे करोगे फिर डायलेट इफ यू आर नॉट डूइंग गिविंग मीज़ोप्रोस्टॉल? हाउ यू विल डायलेट? इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स देखिए हैं, कस्कोस से डायलेट करोगे? सर्विक्स डायलेट करना है ना. हाँ, किससे? सिम्स से. You have to dilate the cervix for evacuation. How you will dilate the cervix? Cervical dilator कुछ होते हैं? हाँ? तो क्या इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स ऑलरेडी डन ना, अब रिवीजन कराना पड़ेगा लग रहा है. अब तुम लोग बोले तो कब खत्म होगा मैम? हाँ? Dilators, yes. Higas dilator, Das dilator. You will use cervical dilator. तुमको नाम भी नहीं आता तो just say cervical dilators. हाँ, इतना तो बोल दोगे एग्जाम में. ये सब बोलोगे तो बस फेल कर देंगे कस्कोस और सिम्स. You will do serial dilatation of the cervix using Higas dilator or Das dilator, whatever is available. ठीक? और then the evacuation is done slowly. Normally what we do, क्या करते हैं प्रोसीजर में? नॉर्मली प्रोसीजर कैसे करते हैं? इफ द दिस इज द यूट्रस, ठीक है, यू हैव डायलेटेड द सर्विक्स, डायलेट हो गया, यू विल इंसर्ट द कैनुला, कामन्स कैनुला, यहाँ पे इसमें आई रहता है, ठीक है, कामन्स कैनुला इंसर्ट किया, ठीक है. तो नॉर्मली इन नॉर्मल प्रोसेस ऑफ अबॉर्शन और नॉर्मल डायलेटेशन इवैक्यूएशन और सक्शन इवैक्यूएशन, वी नॉर्मली टेक दिस अप टू द फंडस. But in these cases, we don't take this up to the fundus. We normally place it near the cervix only, lower part of the uterus, and we will start the suction evacuation, the process. We will start the machine, and slowly, we will see that the fundal height is decreasing. The vesicles are coming out, and the slowly fundal height is decreasing. In the last, when you will do PV, the fundal height is of uterine sizes has come back to around normal or just more than normal, but it will be much less than the earlier one. ठीक है. तो why it is done like this? क्यों करते हैं ऐसा? ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं ले जा सकते, but normally in the starting we don't take it up to the fundus because अभी क्या बोला मैंने, क्या रिस्क है? Perforation risk is very high. That's why in the starting we don't take the suction cannula or the Kamas cannula up to the fundus. We keep it near the lower part of the uterus. We start the process, and in the last we will just do gentle check curettage. Not done in every cases. In some cases it might be required just to ensure that there is complete evacuation has been done. And normally what we do when the patient is admitted, we will send the blood for investigation. So pre-evacuation or during OT, just after the OT, whichever is possible, we will send one beta SCG, and the next beta SCG will be done around after 1 week. Okay? So we can compare both if it is increasing or decreasing. Acha, suction evacuation is done. In this case, it is suction evacuation was done. What do you think? What procedure was done in this case? Huh? Hysterectomy. Why? We should do hysterectomy in all cases. Huh? Multiparous. What is the indication of hysterectomy in molar pregnancy? Normally it is not done. In all the cases, mostly we do suction evacuation only. Hysterectomy is done only in case of any emergency. If the bleeding is heavy during evacuation, then we will do hysterectomy. Otherwise, normally we will go for suction evacuation only, because the chance of progression to choriocarcinoma or GTN doesn't decrease after doing hysterectomy. ऐसा लग रहा है ना ये हट गया तो नहीं होगा GTN, नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. There is chance of GTN or choriocarcinoma even after hysterectomy. That's why it is not encouraged, but might be required in if there is uncontrolled bleeding or there is any perforation, there it might be required. Okay. Next comes the chemotherapy. Normally we give single regimen chemotherapy. क्या देते हैं कीमोथेरेपी में मोलर प्रेगनेंसी में? एक ही नाम याद रखो, मीथोट्रेक्सेट. अब बाकी इमैको रेजिमेन ये सब होता है, वो डिटेल अभी तुम लोग को नहीं जाना है, बस अभी के लिए इस ईयर की नेक्स्ट ईयर में तुम लोग बाकी डिटेल याद रखना. इमैको रेजिमेन इज डन इन say stage 4, stage 3, stage 4. Normally in these cases we do single regimen chemotherapy, that is methotrexate. 1 3 4 5 sorry 1 3 4 6 is given methotrexate, and 2 4 6 8 is given folinic acid. That is a single agent chemotherapy. There is a term of prophylactic chemotherapy, but that is not given nowadays. It was given, used to be given earlier, because there was chance of patient not following up after the section evacuation. Then they used to give prophylactic, before following up the beta HCG, they were giving prophylactic chemotherapy or methotrexate. Like patient, you have done suction evacuation, and suppose patient in earlier years, patient was say poor, and you suspected that patient will not return to you after when, let's say 2 weeks or after 1 month. In that cases, if you suspect patient might progress to GTN, you will give prophylactic 1 dose of methotrexate, because the patient is say poor or non-compliant or will not return, or there is beta HCG level is very high, then you might give. But nowadays, because the all follow-up is very good and patients are more educated, they know that there is risk, they normally show up. So prophylactic chemotherapy is not encouraged nowadays, but it was given earlier because there was no resources, there were no mobile phones, there were no communication, there was a huge communication gap. Once patient was gone from the hospital, she is gone, she will not come back mostly. That's why it was given earlier. But nowadays, because everything is well and good, nowadays communication is very good and patient are educated, they normally turns back. So how the follow up is done? क्या follow up करोगे? Once you have done circulation, patient का bleeding कम बंद हो गया, follow up करोगे कि नहीं? What you will do in follow up? Beta HCG level. Very good. In how many days you will repeat? अच्छा, normal pregnancy में beta HCG level when it comes back to normal. अगर तुमने एक missed abortion, you have evacuated the missed abortion, suction evacuation is done or DNC is done, by how many days or by how many weeks the beta HCG level will come back to normal? अगले हफ्ते करोगे तो negative आएगा का UPT? Normally 6 weeks time it takes to come back to normal. In say molar pregnancy or total coming back to normal 6 weeks normally लग जाता है. In many patients 3-4 weeks में normal हो जाता है, लेकिन normally 6 weeks हम लोग टाइम लेते हैं. In these molar pregnancy patient, it should come back to normal around 8 to 9 weeks. ठीक है? If it come back to normal around 8 to 9 weeks, then we will follow up the patient for 6 months. Normal means negative beta HCG. It should be followed up for 6 months. If say it has not come back to normal by 8 to 9 weeks, then we will follow up every 2 weeks till it is 3 negative. Then when once it is negative, then we will follow monthly for 6 months. This is the follow up. Or will you advise the patient to conceive? When you will advise the patient to conceive? Suppose patient was primey and she had molar pregnancy in her first pregnancy and she wants to conceive again. When you will advise her to conceive? 1 year, yes. There should be 1 year gap. So normally we advise to conceive after 1 year. 1 year means ki after normalization of the beta HCG. 1 year after the normalization. So if it is get normalized by 8 to 9 weeks, तो वहाँ से 1 year. And if gets normalized after some time, say 3 months, 4 months, then from the point it is has been negative, beta HCG negative, from that time to 1 year, you will ask the patient to avoid pregnancy. So what is the best method of contraception you will advise in molar pregnancy? You are discharging the patient, patient beta HCG is non-negative, so what you will advise for contraception? Copper T. Why not copper T? Huh? Yes. Infection, perforation, you will not give IUCD. क्या दोगे? What you will advise? The best contraceptive advice after molar pregnancy is barrier contraceptive. That can be safely used. There is no risk. Normally in a combined pill, we avoid before beta Hg is normalized. Once the beta Hg is normalized or has been negative, you can advise what? Combined pills. You can advise after beta Hg is negative. Okay? This is the snowstorm appearance. This. This is the molar pregnancy vesicles. This is the partial mole. Okay. This is the vesicle-like, and this is the normal placenta, and this is the fetus. This is the normal uterus, and this is the molar pregnancy. This one, the specimen you can see here. It is the trophoblastic proliferation both of syncytial trophoblast and cytotrophoblast, and edema of the villus stroma, hydropic degeneration of the villi. These are differences I have already told you. Or anything missing? No. One more thing, there can be theca lutein cyst in H mole, and theca lutein cyst can be present in both of these, but in complete mole it is more common, 25 to 30% cases, and it is partial mole, it is very rare. When you are in this case, suppose you have done hysterectomy, will you remove the cyst also? Theca lutein cysts are very big, so size 7 to 5 centimeter. You will remove it or not? When you are doing suctionation, will you remove the cyst or not? Huh? No, we normally don't remove. But we will do the suction vacuation, we leave it as it is. Why? Because it is due to raised beta Hg level. When the beta Hg level comes back to normal, these will automatically come back to normal size. Okay, that's why we don't need to remove these theca lutein cyst. It will automatically get normal to come back to normal size. Okay, these are enlarged only due to raised beta Hg level, high beta Hg level. Now coming on to this, the karyotyping. In mostly complete mole, there is maternal chromosome inactivation. There can be paternal chromosome duplication with empty ova, or there can be paternal dispermy with empty ova. In complete H mole, there is empty ova or maternal chromosomal inactivation. Maternal chromosome is not present. Okay, it is either inactivated or not present, or empty ova is there. Only paternal chromosome is there. Either the paternal chromosome can duplicate, this can double up, or two sperm can fertilize this empty ova. That will give result to this complete H mole, that is 46XX or 46XY. This is the same paternal dispermy with empty ova. This will give to heterozygous state, and duplication, paternal chromosome duplication will give homozygous state. This is the complete H mole macroscopically. This is one specimen. The uterus is filled with vesicles, grape-like vesicles. This is the snowstorm appearance. These are the vesicles. Beautiful, clear-looking vesicles. This is the snowstorm, typical snowstorm appearance. This is the TVS picture. Partial mole, there is ova, but there is dispermy. This gives to triploid. Both maternal paternal chromosomes are present, but paternal chromosomes are more in amount. ठीक, मतलब दोनों में paternal ही एक तरह से responsible है. If you see in both these conditions, there is excess of paternal chromosome. That's the main causative factor of H mole, the excess of paternal. Okay. There is no ovum, though there is no maternal chromosome. In this, there is excess of paternal chromosome. Okay. Or in that case, there is no maternal. Here, the maternal chromosome is there. 23X is there, but there is no 23X. Okay. So this is triploid. 46XXY or 46XYY or 69XX, 69XXY or 69XYY. These are the partial mole. This is the vesicles. This is the normal placenta. and this is the maternal side of the placenta. This is the partial mole. Here you can see normal tissue, and this is the molar tissue, and this is normal fetus. This is the partial mole. Here you can see snowstorm appearance. This is the normal placenta, and this is the fetal parts. Clinical features I have already told you. Metastatic features क्या होंगे? Pulmonary में cough, chest pain, hemoptysis, dyspnea, chest X-ray finding. Typically cannon ball appearance can be seen on chest X-ray. Vaginal, irregular vaginal bleeding might be there. Hepatic, epigastric pain, jaundice may be there. Cerebral, headache, convulsion, paralysis or coma. Cerebral metastasis is very rare. Diagnosis के क्या main होता है? USG and बीटा एससीजी. दिस इज द मेन ये दो चीज बोलना ही बोलना है, बाकी तुम लोग याद रहे ना रहे. यू विल से बीटा एससीजी लेवल एंड यूएसजी snowstorm appearance. Beta SCG level will be higher, normally more than 1 lakh. This is the vaginal metastasis. This one. It's the cannonball appearance of the chest X-ray in case of choriocarcinoma. This is snowstorm appearance in the USG. This is stages of GTN that will be taught in lecture class. These are different WHO prognostic scoring that will be taught in your lecture class. According to this scoring, your IMACO regimen is given. We score the patient according to this. अगर मेटास्टेसिस हुआ है तो ज़्यादा स्कोरिंग होगा, ठीक है. If beta SCG level is more, that will be fall in the mode scoring. So according to high risk score, if it is more than 7, or at low risk if less than 6. High risk cases में resistant cases we give combination therapy, and low risk cases में we give single agent chemotherapy. ठीक. In detail you will be taught in the lecture class. अच्छा. Indication for chemotherapy in GTD. Histological evidence of choriocarcinoma अगर हो, ठीक है. Evidence of metastasis in brain, liver, GI tract, radiological opacity of more than 2 cm on chest X-ray, that is pulmonary metastasis, pulmonary vaginal or vulvar metastasis, heavy vaginal bleeding or evidence of GI or intraperitoneal hemorrhage. Rising beta SCG even after evacuation. When you are doing 2 weekly beta SCG, if it is rising, every time level is rising, that means it is not coming back to normal, it is progressing to GTN. Serum SCG more than 20,000 more than 4 weeks after evacuation because of the risk of uterine perforation. Elevated SCG 6 months after evacuation, even if you have followed up the patient and it was falling. Okay, starting it was falling, beta SCG was falling, but after 6 months of evacuation, suddenly it starts increasing. That is also GTN. तुमने 6 months तक किया, fall कर रहा है, तो ये तुमने patient को छोड़ दिया नहीं. That's why we say unless until it has become negative or come back to normal, you will not leave the follow-up. You will not stop the follow-up because there is still risk of rising beta SCG and there is still risk of GTN. Sometimes lifelong follow-up is also required. These are the different protocols. This is the single regimen, and this is the MAC protocol, and this is the IMACO regimen. Etoposide, actinomycin D, methotrexate, and cyclophosphamide on oncovin or vincristine is given. IMACO, EMACO. This is CO. Okay, this is given. Whatever I told or whatever I told you, obstruction is avoided nowadays. Complication, what can happen? Massive hemorrhage can happen. Early onset preeclampsia, eclampsia can happen. Hyperemesis gravidarum, pulmonary embolism, uterine perforation, IUGR of viable pregnancy. If there was partial mole, a part of placenta was having molar pregnancy, but rest of the tissue was normal, the fetus was growing normally. Many times in some patients, in twin pregnancy also we get molar pregnancy. In that cases, IUGR is common. Stillbirth or preterm birth of the baby. Very remote cases, choriocarcinoma can occur. There are different questions. So coming on to your specimen. This is a glass mounted formalin fixed specimen of uterus showing some grape like vesicles coming from the cut section, and yes, both sides tubes and ovaries can be seen. Uh, Probably this is the case of molar pregnancy. So the examiner will ask why you are saying this is molar pregnancy. क्या बोलोगे? Because you can see grape like vesicles. And what procedure was done in this case? Name the procedure. Hysterectomy. Which one? Partial, complete, subtotal, total, bilateral hysterectomy.
Total hysterectomy plus bilateral sulfonic.
Oophorectomy, because you can see tubes and ovaries on the both side. Uh, in a case of molar pregnancy, will you do hysterectomy straight away? No, we will go for suction vacuation first. If any complication arises, then only we will go for hysterectomy. Hysterectomy is not the primary procedure or procedure of choice in molar pregnancy. Suction evacuation is the only procedure of choice in molar pregnancy. And then the Viva will go on with this, what complaints patient will have, how you will diagnose the patient, how you will investigate the patient, how you will follow up, how you will treat it. ठीक है? ये है. इसका फोटो लास्ट टाइम दिखाया था मैंने तुम लोग को फोटो है क्या नहीं? फोटो इज नॉट अवेलेबल नाउ. लास्ट टाइम तुमको शायद दिखाया था मैंने. হ্যাঁ কি করতে গেলে সাকশন ভ্যাকেশন? হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, you will that's why you will do gentle curettage. Just at the end of the procedure you will do gentle curettage. But normally if the bleeding stops and uterus size is normal, come back to normal, so normally we assume that it is completed. If bleeding is continued, that means there is something inside. And normally at the end of the procedure we normally advise to give methergine to decrease the bleeding, okay, or contraction of the uterus will be fast. We avoid oxytocin, we avoid misoprostol. And blood transfusion may be required if hemoglobin is less than 8. और क्या एक चीज़ छूट गया है इन्वेस्टिगेशन में, बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट? नहीं, इन्वेस्टिगेशन में क्या चीज़ छूट गया? बहुत बेसिक चीज़ है, वेरी बेसिक थिंग आई हैव नॉट टोल्ड यू येट, बट यू नो, ऑल नो. What investigation is I have not told you yet. What investigation, very important investigation needs to be done in molar pregnancy or any pregnancy? Blood grouping, ABO grouping and RH typing. If she is RH negative, suppose she is RH negative, what you will do after evacuation? Suppose this patient is RH negative pregnancy.
Fetal blood test karo jodi positive hoy tokhon
How you will test the fetal blood in this case?
male partner blood group test.
Yes, after testing male partner only I am labeling it as RH negative. If male partner is negative, this will not be labeled as RH negative pregnancy. Male partner is positive and female is negative, then only it is labeled as RH negative pregnancy. What you will do? Anti-D immunoglobulin you have to give after evacuation. Okay, because you can't, there's no means of testing the blood group of the baby. Only in partial mole you can test, but otherwise you can't test. Or prophylactically we give immunoglobulin, anti-D immunoglobulin should be given in all the cases after evacuation of RH negative pregnancy.
Mother ICT korlo
ICT, if normally it is not required. If it should be done in normal pregnancy later on. If she conceives later on, then ICT might be required. Okay. If suppose patient was primary gravida, in this patient she is RH negative pregnancy, in the next suppose after 1 year she conceived and she comes to you at around 12 weeks, then at first visit you will do ICT. Definitely you will do ICT. ठीक, all done.